Hey, what's up guys, John here. We are in the great wealth transfer, or some would call the great asset transfer, where the middle class transfers their assets to the rich.
If you have debt, you have to pay back the debt. The only difference is you can print the money. So the question is, what ends that, or is there no end to that?
However, I believe what's going to happen over the next 24 months is we're going to see tens of millions of Americans, which is a big number, rise up from the middle class and go straight to the top. And they're going to make an absolute fortune in the process. Unfortunately, probably going to see 150 million Americans that are in the comfortable middle class that are going to be pushed downward due to what's going on right now. The big choice, the big question is, what career are you in right now? Is it the right career? And how can you take advantage of this wealth transfer? When you look at what these 800 executives are saying is going to happen and you connect the dots on everything, you're going to see one thing, and one thing clearly, that millions of people are going to be forced to sell and liquidate single-family homes and assets to try to make ends meet due to what's going on right now. And that's where that great wealth is going to be created. If you're in the right business and you're able to accumulate cash, and you're able to put that money to work and start to buy a lot of real assets, you're going to put yourself in a really good position. Now I'm going to show you what's going on so you can position yourself for this great wealth transfer. Please hit the like button, hit the like button. YouTube will share this content to educate the people about what's going on in America. If you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for funding, if you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item on your credit report, go to greatcreditfast.com, click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free strategy session. Take a look at this. So half of all skills will be outdated within 2 years, studies suggest. Executives believe nearly half of all the skills that exist in today's workforce won't be relevant just 2 years from now, thanks to AI. And a lot of that includes their own skills. This startling proclamation came out as a recent survey of 800 executives and 800 employees released by edX, an online education platform. The executives estimate nearly 49% of the skills that exist in their workforce today won't be relevant in 2025. The same number, 47%, believe their workforce is unprepared for the future workplace. So let's look at the assets. Look at the wealth, how it's compiled in America. A lot of the wealth is held by retirees, people 50 years of age and older. Over 60% of all single-family homes are owned by people 50 and older. So when you start to see a massive shift in the overall workforce, what's that going to mean? Well, either they're going to have to adopt, which I think it might be harder for somebody 70 or 75 or 80 years old to adopt, and many of these people are actually back in the workforce due to inflation. What's going to happen? I believe we're going to start seeing a lot of people forced to sell off their homes. Even 55, 60-year-old, hardworking Americans that have worked their entire lives that had a pension, a retirement plan, they had everything buttoned up, didn't anticipate all of the changes that have happened the last couple of years. They didn't forecast this into their retirement plan. You're going to see a lot of people, I believe, selling off homes. Right now, 40% of all employees in America are ages 55 and up, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. So it's a pretty significant percentage. So I do believe we're going to see a lot of these homeowners selling off properties. Now, is AI impacting your job? Your salary might actually rise. Now, it's a very interesting article, and I do agree with this. I believe that if you're an employee working for a business and you're able to help that business owner reduce their expenses with AI, you're able to help them gather market share, make more money, you're going to be able to get a raise. You're going to be able to, you'll be paid what you're worth. Now, if you're a job that could be replaced by AI, that could be a problem, right? You're going to see wages likely fall and the demand for that role fall, right? People need to look at all these advancements because some of them are so shocking how fast this is moving. It's absolutely crazy. Now look at this. We no longer need as many people. Duolingo fires 10% of contractors. We'll replace them with AI. IBM fired 7,500 employees, replacing them with AI. So look at this. Job openings, tick down right here. Employees held back on hiring in November. As workers chose to stay put in their current jobs, right? Job openings down, even as 4 in 10 employers say they're expecting layoffs this year. 4 in 10, right? 40% of the workforce. Then you have this. In a recent survey, 4 in 10 companies say they're likely to have layoffs 2024, prompting increased fears of a recession on the corner. More than half of companies also said they plan on implementing a hiring freeze in 2024. When asked why the companies were engaged in layoffs, half said the anticipation of a recession was a reason. Meanwhile, a little less, 4 in 10 said they're going to lay off employees and replace the workers with artificial intelligence. Right? It all connects. Everything all connects. Look at this. Same thing, Forbes, half of all companies planning on layoffs. Now, when you start to look at these numbers, it's shocking. Through 2023, the first 9 months, there were about 605,000 announced layoffs, a 198% increase from last year, from 2022. In the worst 3 quarters of job trimming since 2020 and the second worst stretch since the GFC, 2009, Great Financial Crisis. Now, media companies, they've already cut 20,000 jobs. 20,000 jobs in just 2023. That's as of December 19th and per Forbes. Google plans to cut 30,000 jobs due to AI enhancements, right? Xerox, they're letting go of 15% of their entire workforce. This is 5 days old, right? I mean, all of this is happening 2 hours ago. Amazon, they let go of 27,000 employees. I mean, you have another one right here. Zuckerberg fired 21,000 employees in Meta, right? And he also sold $500 million worth of shares over the last few months. Microsoft laying off 10,000. You have Salesforce letting go of 10% of their workforce, about 10,000. Twitter laid off 6,500 employees, and I believe it's better run today than it was a few years ago, right? And he didn't need the 6,500 employees. That's how many of these large corporations are looking at their bottom line. They're like, do we really need all these employees? In 2023, 262,000 employees were let go. It's a pretty substantial figure. 2022 was 164,000, so about a 40-point bump in 1 year. Now, I believe this year, 2024, is going to be a flagship year for layoffs. Now, the careers that are going to likely be most at risk with layoffs: product management, quality assurance, marketing, finance, IT roles. I mean, this is significant. I would add in there, with finance, I would also add in realtors. Realtors, we're going to start seeing a lot of realtors leave the business because the easy home sales are no longer here. 2021 took very, very little skill to be a real estate agent. You go in there, take your test. A couple weeks later, you're an agent. You list properties on the MLS. You get 20 offers. Sell the deal all cash, no contingencies, no appraisal. Simple and easy deal. And the realtor would make $20,000. Right? That day is over. Right? We're going to start to see, I believe, hundreds of thousands of realtors leave the industry over the next couple of years. Which is pretty substantial. In the Great Financial Crisis, there was about 1 million realtors. Now there's about 1.6 million. So that's a pretty conservative estimate. Now, when you look at this, 1 in 3 companies anticipate laying off 30% or more of the workforce in 2023. This is December 10th, right? On December 20th, so about 3 weeks ago. Massive layoffs continue in the tech industry, and questions of an impending recession remain. Many employees fear what lies ahead for them in 2023. Right? 61% of business leaders say their organizations will likely have layoffs in 2023. 57% of business leaders said that layoffs are estimated 30% or more. Right? 6 in 10 companies will likely lay off employees in 2023. So you're seeing this thing ramp up. In red right here, future layoffs 2023. Right? I mean, things are changing. They're changing really, really quickly. But here's where it all kind of comes together. Now, when you see all these full-time jobs, all these real jobs are, in question, now they're going after the side hustle. March 10th, they're thinking about axing all side hustles in America, making it a law. March 10th is the date right here. The new rule is set to take place March 11th, And when you look at this, they say that, studies suggest that employees can cost companies about 30% more as independent contractors. So people are saying, hey, we want to get more money. But a lot of people also like the flexibility of a side hustle. If these apps have to start to pay full-time wages, they're probably not going to do so, right? They're probably going to find another way around it. They're probably going to start to implement AI and technology as well to try to reduce their costs and expenses as much as they possibly can. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. I believe that we're going to start seeing Americans across the board look for ways they can save money. They can cut expenses. And they're going to be doing this by looking to downsize their apartments. They're going to go from the nice, shiny apartment, $2,500, $3,000, $3,500 a month, to the C-class apartment, $1,500, $1,600. People are going to start to pull back. They're going to start giving the keys back on their cars if they can't afford the payments. They're going to start doing things to survive. Now, you look at short sellers, right? They see distress emerging in apartments as borrowing costs surge, right? Rents are also falling. Good news for renters, rents have fallen 3 months in a row. And then when you have buying a starter home is 60% more expensive than renting, you're going to see a situation where you see all these job losses. How many people right now are looking to buy a home to increase their monthly housing cost by 60%? Probably not as many, especially with mortgage rates continuing to increase. You're going to see a situation where the housing market is going to see a lot more inventory. There's going to be a smaller pool of buyers that can qualify to buy these properties and that want to buy these properties. You're going to see home prices likely fall. You're going to see, apartment construction right now is at a 50-year high. So you're going to have all this new home apartment inventory. all these shiny new apartments looking for the $3,000 a month renter, probably going to have a harder time finding them, compared to 2021. So what are they going to do? They're going to start offering first month rent free, last month rent free. They're going to start offering bonuses, incentives. I've even seen things where they're offering daycare and like they're offering all these different things free, just trying to get their units full. So when you look at all of this stuff together, what do I see? A great asset transfer. People are going to be forced to sell in great form. And I think that's where we're going to see the great wealth transfer being taken advantage of by everyday Americans that are looking at this job market saying, you know what, it's a great time to hire, it's a great time to recruit talent, it's a great time to disrupt an existing business, potentially buy a cheap business that has a great business model and potentially it's just run poorly, for almost nothing. Many of these small businesses don't sell, they just go out of business. So you start to look at all this, there's going to be a lot of wealth that's going to be looking for pockets. And if you are out there and you're ambitious, you're going to be able to find a way to put a lot of that money in your own pocket and to build a sense of security and safety for yourself and your family during this great wealth transfer. The next 24 months, I think, will be more important to build wealth than any other period in American history. Drop below, let's have a conversation about this. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for bank funding, if you're thinking about buying real estate or buying a business, we'd love to help fix your credit. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item in your credit report, go to greatcreditfast.com, click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free strategy session. Catch you in the next one.